Alright, so I'll start off with a fairly quick deck tech here, playing Mono Green, Devotion, and Pioneer. For those of you who aren't familiar, this is a fairly simple deck. We're just playing 16 ramp cards, trying to get to our Planeswalkers on turn 3, or like play a large Hydra. It's also powered up by the Nykthos plus Burning Tree interaction. Obviously, you don't need Burning Tree for Nykthos to be great, because you can have all these other random permanents, especially once you get a Planeswalker in play, like Nissa or Vivien, then Nykthos can be quite charged up. Helping you play Nissa plus another Planeswalker in the same turn is great. But you don't need to draw the Nykthos for this deck to function, because you still just play 16 ramp spells, and just basically one power one of the Planeswalkers on turn 3, and like ride that tempo to victory. It's really a lot about like a tempo deck, like trying to just get further and further ahead once you're already ahead. Vivien, like killing them quickly or making or like fighting their creatures. The same thing with Hydra. And obviously like Nissa as a haste threat, like all these things kind of help you do that. Karn can like help you lock out the opponent or just like get more threats, such as like Sky Sovereign, Vertigo Hulk, Serpent, or sometimes like locking them if you're really far ahead, like with an early Nykthos store, you just get Statue and you might just prevent them from casting spells. The main difference to my list compared to others is, well, I play Hachiboises, which is actually like a Michael Jacob tech. It's a smaller thing, but there used to be like Castle in this deck, but without Walking Ballista, the castles aren't that great, so that you only have Voracious Hydra to channel that mana into. But the Hachiboises is, well, the coming to play untapped is sometimes very relevant. Like sometimes you just have, Hachiboises Nykthos, Mana Dork, and then it's a lot better that it's Oasis and comes into play untapped and not Castle. And the other thing is that because you are just tempo deck, like you're really just trying to like pressure the opponent and kill them quickly by ramping out these things. Getting the +3/+3 can help you like turn set a turn off your clock, or it can make something larger so you can use Vivien to kill an Uro, or it gives you a good attack you wouldn't have had before. It can do a lot of things, especially with the trample from Hydra and Vivien and such. Like there's a lot of things this card does. I'm just not playing more because they kind of in multiples they can kind of interfere with your Nissas and might be too painful against aggro decks. It's possible actually that nowadays you're supposed to play more. Because there aren't that much aggro. The other thing is Florahedron. This card is this card is just like really good for this deck. Most people aren't playing it. Playing none at all. They play like the Llanowar Visionary instead, a 3-mana card. But the issues with Llanowar Visionary is that you can't keep a hand when the first play you make is a turn 3 Llanowar Visionary. You have to have a ramp spell on turn 1 or 2. And so what Florahedron does is that it makes your mulligan a lot less, because you need to have one of these 16 cards in your opening hand, and also the lands to cast them, so it accesses both parts of it. So sometimes you do have the Haven, and you have one forest, but you don't have one land, so you can't keep that hand. Well, if you have Florahedron Haven, then you can keep that all of a sudden, and it gets a lot better for that. So I really think this, like the Florahedron improves the deck a lot for that reason, because the deck wants mulligan for something specific. Like lands, a ramp spell, and often a payoff, but you don't always need that. But it doesn't mulligan that well because it is, a critical mass type deck. You need the card Nykthos really asks you to have like a lot of stuff in play. And in order for the mana ramp to work, you need to like both hit your land drops and have mana ramp. So that's also another way, and have a payoff. Like that's another thing that asks you to have a lot of cards. So mulligan to 5 of this deck isn't great. And this is why I want to add a card that helps me mulligan less often. As for the sideboard, I'm playing 2 Oozes that I plan to bring in against Bread decks and Uro decks primarily. So that's why I have those here. The red decks aren't that popular anymore, that's why I cut the Elgargarats and just play 4 Nissa. That's why I only play 2 Oozes in the sideboard now, I used to play 3. And then we have most of the usual sideboard targets. Recent additions have been Pithing Needle that I added back into the deck. To name Fable Passage against Omnath is the most common use for it. Because otherwise Karn can be a bit bad against the Omnath decks, but if you can get Needle to turn off the Fable Passage, you can actually make that deck a lot less scary. And then the other part is Wretched Bomb. Wretched Bomb against Auras is the main target to kill their Stonecoil Serpents or their Gristboon, which are the way to give evasion. Because you can usually chump like their big things until you set up like a Vivien for Ulamog or a Karn to go get a Lionheedra Network. But the issue is that if they can fly over your stuff or trample over your stuff, then that's not good for you. So you go get the Retro Bomb in that matchup. And yep, that's the deck. Let's get into some matches. Alright. I think we're going live here. And we're good. So we have a fine opening hand. It's not great because we don't have a turn 3 play of our Ram spell. But hopefully we can find that here, and we do. So let's just grab a Vivien. It's not great to play Vivien with no creatures in play, but I think that's better than taking a Llanowar there. And we are actually playing the Mirror. Huh. Maybe I should play Elvish Mystic here, so that I can use my Vivien to kill their Llanowars. That means Vivien dies, but maybe that's fine. Because Vivien could die regardless. I think I'll do that. It's really bad against a Voracious Hydra though. Okay. Ooh, Nykthos. I think Nykthos means that I just wait. Really have it on playing the Mirror though. That means the time is not gonna be an issue. So we do D here. We can go Elvish Mystic, Vivien, kill their Vivien. Or we can go Nissa. I just bash and play the Elvish Mystic maybe. Yeah, I think I like the bashing plan with Vivien, with Nissa. I'm not gonna play Elvish Mystic if they chump block here, which they probably will. Because, actually, maybe it's still fine, because they can't kill Nissa on board. Unless they Nissa go to 1. That's probably fine. If they play a second Vivien, it's not great for me then. But how is that? I'll be able to trade for something. What if they play Voracious Hydra here? Eat the forest. They can't do that much with their. Don't get into 3. No, I think I just developed the Elvish Mystic. Just let Nissa take some damage. I think we can do that. I also don't really want to get away, like, lose the forest here, because I'm going to use that with Vivien to take down their Planeswalkers. What if they play their own Nissa? Oh my goodness. No, wow. How bad am I? No, that's so bad. Ah, why didn't I think of that? That's awful. I think I'm just dead now, but I'll try and see if I can defend this Vivien. I can make 5 mana. So I can't go Vivien plus crack my Wolf Willow. I think we turn this one into a 5/5 and we attack Vivien. Oh, this is dangerous. If we get to untap with this Vivien though, I think we might be good. Like, it gets onto with 5 counters. That's probably very unrealistic. My opponent's gonna, like, be aware that they need to prevent that. Alright, so do you want to keep their Vivien around? Makes sense. Well, okay, that one's not relevant. Did they have another non-relevant spell? They have another Nissa. Yeah, that's probably good enough. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, if they just attack like this, then that's really bad for them. Yeah, they need to attack with more. Exactly like that. We can still untap with Vivien on the full amount of loyalty, but the Nykthos only taps for 5, then we have 7 mana in total. So we can't go get Ulamog. Unless we top deck another Nykthos, I think. Alright, so there is a way to make Vivien survive here. It is to block, not like this, but with these two reversed, obviously. Puts Vivien to 2 loyalty, then we untap and we make this a 7/7. And we bash. Issue is that they can block with all these 3, which is not great for me. I think it's actually pretty bad for me. The alternative line is to go like trade. This keeps Vivien alive. Or we can do this where we just untap with a Vivien on 5 counters and we go get, say, a Verdur's Gearhulk or something. Then if you top deck a Nykthos, we win the game. Maybe a Burning Tree doesn't do it. I'm pretty sure Nykthos does it, right? Yeah, Nykthos does it. Otherwise, I can like make a 4/4 wolf, but that probably just loses me the game. I think I need to preserve as much board state as possible, and I think that means preserving the 5/5 land here. We could also just make this block and nothing else. I think I need the Vivien alive. If we do this and I have a 7/7. I don't know, this also means that if I draw like a Voracious Hydra, that's really good. I guess I have to plan to like top deck a Hydra or a Karn. What happens if I do this and I top deck a Karn? I make 5, so I have 7 mana. Karn goes and gets nothing relevant. What if I let my Vivien die and just kill their land? And I top deck a Karn? I still make 5 mana with Nykthos, but I have 9 mana total, so I can go get a Sky Sovereign. Which I think is just huge. Is the title correct? I think I have updated the title, right? No, I didn't. Thank you. How is Typo versus Burn with this deck? Yeah. But I can't do that right now. I'll tell you once we go into sideboarding here. I think I just need to preserve as much board state as possible. I think this gives me the most amount of good top decks. Because Hydra is a pretty good top deck here as well. And I think Karn is good. Nissa. That's not the card I wanted, but I think it might be the card I deserve. Alright. Yeah, I gotta focus on the game now. Not that much time left. They might run out of Nissa targets. That's something that does happen. Interestingly, if I had like blocked where I traded off of both lands, like double block the 3/3 and block 5/5 and 5/5, drawing Nissa would have been great, because I could have made my own 5/5 Trampler, taking out the Vivian. And then I think I just have the board. With 2 4/4s. Okay. That kind of makes sense. I am happy to see a land there. Even though it means more fodder for Nissa. Like, the only thing I'd rather see is like an elf. Because obviously a land is a 3/3 and the elf is just a 1/1. Oh, Wolfwalker Haven would also be something I'd love to see. Oh hey, just... I think this is the best I can do. I think it's better to sacrifice some mana in order to get some board state here. Opponent is close to ultimating Nissa though. I mean, so am I. I guess I need to sustain the same amount of counters. We'll just let him figure out how to do this. I think my chat thing... No, it just may be working. Make a single 5-5? Sure. Actually gonna attack now? This is a 5-5, right? Should we just block like this? I think those are our best blocks. I can give up an extra wolf to kill the 5-5. Yeah, I think that's better. Because I can make this block. Keep another land. I think this block is better. I could give him an elf here. To keep Nissa on a high number of loyalty. What is trample here? Only this one, right? Still make 5 mana, I have still this land. Oh, actually, I have a fairly good attack here, because I killed both of these. Let's do this. I also really like killing the lands when the Nissa's at 8. Ooh. Or I can just kill Nissa here. I think. No, I put Nissa to 1. Attack Vivian. Let me just attack Vivian with both. If I attack all 3 at Nissa, goes chump, chump, Nissa goes to 1. I don't think that's good. I think I really need to take out one of these Planeswalkers. But if it doesn't top deck here, I just win the game. Ugh, and I only have like 7 minutes left. That's not very good. He does have a lot of mana here, still 9 mana, so. I could have made one forest a 5/5 instead of making two 4/4s. I'm not sure if that's better. I think two 4/4s is better in the face of Nissa. I wonder if this is Voracious Hydra. If it is, you just jump like with Burning Tree. Because if they take out my forest, I can't play Ulamog. Can I do it so I make 6 mana? Yeah, I can actually do it here. I think I'll just make this block. Because this means that Voracious Hydra doesn't do it. So, I got a bunch of forests, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. So we make two 5/5s. So we attack one at Vivien, one at Doomwake. Oh, 5 minutes to win another game here. It's not actually that much. Did Karn do it? Yeah, that's definitely not a Karn. Oh, right, Karn. Yeah, Karn just wins the game. I forgot about that. Okay, so we plus here and here. I assume I have enough here. That 15 to have to block this here, so they have 7 blocks, 22, and I have more than 22. Ugh. But that's true, if they top a Karn there, they go get they go get Align Hydra Network. And I lose the game, I think. Ugh. Alright, Pegans, if you're still here, the way I sideboard against red is on the play, I bring in just 2 Scavenging Ooze, and I cut a Karn and a Vivien. Or 2 Karns, actually. I think I cut 2 Karn in the play. Then on the draw, you also bought in Verdur's Gearhulk and Stonecoil Serpent, and you also take out a couple more Planeswalkers. Because it's all about the big creatures. Oozes, Gearhulk, Stonecoils, Hydra. If you have like Aggaroth, they're great. But I cut them because I don't see very much red these days. Anyways, I'm not gonna make those changes. I'm not gonna make any changes at all because it's just all about being consistent and fast. And I have 5 minutes. Yep. Yep. This is what we want. Do they have a Hydra? Yeah, they do. Unfortunate. Find Sky Sovereign. That's pretty good. I could just make a 4/5 Hydra. I think I'll do that. I'm play Llanowar, Elf, Nissa, and untap a land next turn. Gets Gearhulk, I assume? Yeah. I shouldn't think too much about this. I just don't really see a way out. Maybe I can set up for one more turn. Yeah, I'll just do that. Only kill one of these with Sky Sovereign. So I'll have more devotion. Or maybe I should just concede and focus on the next game. I'm not sure. It feels like I can win this one. So I can go next turn, 4 mana, 5, play Nissa, untap here. I can make a lot of mana next turn with Nissa. So I can play Nissa and Vivien next turn. If that's good enough, I'm not sure about that. Alright, didn't pass on Sky Sovereign, because that was kind of my out. I could draw a coin. Yeah, I maybe I could figure out a way to win that one, but I think the chances are unlikely enough that I'd rather just have more time for the next game. Because we only have like 3.5 minutes now. Shit. Not very much time, but this is a great hand. Elf into Haven plus Haven. Into Nissa plus Vivien. I can play the Oath for free next turn, unless they kill my, let's have a Hydra. But then I just play my Vivien, I think. Whoa. Okay. So I can win in time here. I'll just grab a second Nykthos. Any order. Nice. Yeah, I guess this protects my Vivian, so I can just get Ulamog next turn. And obviously that's game. Whew. Man, that was a close one. Like, on time. Don't bother out Hedron, you can just play it as a land. You can do that on the draw maybe, it's fine. The matchup isn't easy, it's actually kind of close sometimes. You definitely have to play well. Sometimes. I mean, it depends. Like, sometimes it just depends on your draw. But they can have draws where they just, like, develop 1-mana cards and kill your creatures. And you just get too far behind, you don't get to cast a big Hydra in time. Also, if you just don't draw Voracious Hydra. Because that's, like, one of the key cards in the matchup.